in the gauntlet. Coral Gables. Coral Gables. The Mayday's just been called. Their time's about to start right now. Team 2 jumping on the course, or Team 1 jumping on the course, rather. Team 2 working their way around. Uh-huh. Team 1 making good time. So remember, there's 2 teams of 2. We've got Team 1 on the course. We've got Team 2 softening the structure, securing utilities. And then Team 2 is going to have to wait until Team 1 finds the victim and is requested by the 5th member of the team who's not present out on the course, but the group supervisor, RIT group soup, or an IC or somebody of that nature, depending on departmental SOPs. One of the cool things about what Florida RIT Operations Group is doing out here is these teams are able to utilize their own SOPs, SOGs, and policies on how they conduct RIT operations. The standard isn't in how they do any of that stuff. The standard is the firemanship. It's the how can you manipulate through these obstacles? Can you secure the victim? Can you transfill to that victim's bottle? And are you able to get the victim out? Those aren't SOG things. Those are just what we do. So some of the rules are both partners need to stay together. If they're navigating an obstacle, they both have to clear the obstacle before the next obstacle can be navigated. Communication through radio is also scored and important, letting that group supervisor know where they are at all times. And today, it is all based on speed. Style points will subtract time. Penalty points will add time. And these teams are shooting to be in the top 5 for time to move on to the finals tomorrow. So once they make it through, they're going to have to redon their packs. Confirming with command that utilities are secured before they start slicing some wires. Pretty subtle, but you saw him sound the floor as he navigated into the next room. Excuse me. So now they're being evaluated on if they can remember that standard assessment of the victim, making sure the mask is intact, that they're not entangled, that it is who you were looking for, turning off your pass alarm, all things that we would do as we encounter victims. And then transfilling as the victim in this scenario is unresponsive and low on air. So they found the victim, and RIT Team 2 is now activated. So when we talk about equipment and preparedness, it's like we had a little issue with the helmet there. As Team 2 makes their way. It's like the victim has been packaged, transfilled, and is ready for RIT Team 2. Today's question, victim first or RIT first? And it looks like they're sending RIT 1 out first. Remember, these individuals who are competing are not fully, they're smoked out using our smoked out VA shields, which gives basically like slight, subtle light and shadows, much like smoke actually creates, allowing the competitors to be in a completely separate environment almost than what the instructors and the evaluators and the spectators are able to see. Coral Gables making a really good time. So we've talked about it with every team that's gone so far. The difficult part last year was actually this component where 60% of the teams got stuck and ended up not finishing because they timed out. So you have a 15-minute time limit on the course this year. So this is, I believe, the first strategy that I have seen where all 3 RIT members have made it out of the obstacle, leaving 1 member to do the work. Advantageous if you are confident about how you're going, but it looks like we're having some issues and getting stuck here, and you don't have another person to help you manipulate that 180-pound dummy with gear on. So they're going to have to reevaluate and reconfigure here now. Could be a costly mistake. I think there's some miscommunication in the team members. So as firefighters, our senses are important, and when we strip away visual and we strip away the tactile feel of touch, and you can't smell, hearing becomes significantly important. And it looks like he was able to tell that the other firefighter was too far away or further than he mentally pictured him. And as a result, dove back in to assist, which is smart planning for sure. So we hear some free-flowing air, as you can see. Mask integrity on the victim is also extremely important.
He can do that. He can do that. He can do that. Yeah. Attempted to stop it. Yeah.
So judges deliberating on whether or not the firefighter has attempted to stop the air leak efficiently or effectively, which,
On the ground.
as you can hear, the answer is no. One of my favorite quotes, though, at least one of the quotes that I heard from a good buddy of ours over at Fast Rescue is, "Rescue is violent." And we're clearly seeing that from the Coral Gables department right now, who is trying their hardest to make sure that that victim comes out. And to anybody watching, I'd rather come out missing an arm than not come out at all. But there's something to be said also about the finesse of the skill versus the brute force. So while this part was challenging, it appeared for Coral Gables, it seemed like some of it was just the strategy of how they were going to do it, not necessarily the execution. But the spot that has hung every team up so far, or almost every team, has been this little section. It does sound like one of them has a low air viber alert going off right now. Again, some miscommunication. One of the downsides about the strategy of sending RIT Team 1 out and letting RIT Team 2 do everything inside the structure is there's no longer a RIT pack inside the structure in case it's needed by one of the RIT members or potentially the victim again. Because that transfill or that hot fill with the universal air connection will only get us so far. It equalizes the pressure in both bottles. So once again, Coral Gables working hard. But as we all know, the harder we work, the more we breathe. And he truly needs to consider that versus how much air he's going to have left to complete the task at hand. So it may not be a timeout issue, and it may be a air issue. As they struggle through arguably the most difficult part of this entire course. Both members exhausted at this point. Remember, there's a 15-minute time limit on the course. And unfortunately, Coral Gables, though they pushed really, really hard, were unable to complete within the 15 minutes, which makes it even more heartbreaking. Putting in all of the effort. But good attempt by Coral Gables for sure. Strong work on the course, but those are all learning experiences, hopefully, for the team and for the guys. Stuff to work on and definitely things to think about.
Hey, Coral Gables. Come help your brother, man.
And we'll be back with the next.